Have you ever wondered, what happens when the person who always stayed suddenly stops? What if the one they thought would never leave quietly vanished without a trace? No calls, no messages, no explanations, just gone. Imagine the emotional spiral they go through. Could they handle the silence? Would they regret their actions? Would they finally understand what they lost? In a world where people are quick to undervalue others, disappearing can be the ultimate wake-up call. This video will uncover the 11 emotional stages they experience when you walk away, starting from the final moments of realization and unraveling, back to the initial sting of rejection. By the end, you'll understand why walking away isn't just powerful, it's transformative if you're ready to reclaim your worth. Drop a comment below. I'm worth more than they realize. Let's dive into the emotional storm you leave behind. 11. The realization they've lost you forever. The final stage of their emotional journey is also the most profound. After all the attempts to reconnect, distract themselves, or convince themselves that they're better off, they come to a painful realization. You're gone, and you're not coming back. At first, they might cling to hope, thinking maybe it's not over yet. Maybe they'll reach out. But as days turn into weeks, and weeks into months, the silence becomes deafening. Slowly but surely the reality sets in. You've moved on, and they no longer have a place in your life. This realization is crushing. They replay every opportunity they had to make things right, and every mistake they made that pushed you away. Regret becomes their constant companion. The what-ifs consume them. What if I had treated them better? What if I had just communicated more? What if I hadn't taken them for granted? These questions linger unanswered, leaving them stuck in a loop of self-blame and sadness. By this stage, they've likely tried everything to cope, reaching out to you seeking closure from mutual friends, or distracting themselves with work, hobbies, or even new relationships. But none of it works. The loss of someone who genuinely cared for them isn't something they can simply brush aside or replace. What makes this stage so impactful is the finality of it all. They realize that they've lost not just a partner, but someone who brought value, stability, and meaning into their life. It's not just about losing you as a person. It's about losing what you represented. Unconditional support, love, and the potential for a future together. This realization forces them to confront the consequences of their actions. They understand that they are the reason for the loss, and there's no going back. The door they left ajar in their mind is now firmly shut, and they have to live with the knowledge that their behavior led to this outcome for you. This stage is empowering. It's a reminder that your absence has meaning, and that walking away was the right choice. You've reclaimed your worth, and now they must face the consequences of taking you for granted. 10. The endless attempts to replace you. After the crushing realization that you're gone, they instinctively try to fill the void you left. They may turn to dating apps, casual flings, or even old friends they once ignored. At first, it seems like they're moving on. New experiences might temporarily distract them, giving them the illusion that they're fine without you. But as time goes on, they come to a harsh truth. You were irreplaceable. The depth, care, and connection you brought to their life simply cannot be replicated. The people they meet might be fun or exciting initially, but these shallow connections lack the substance they once had with you. Every attempt to replace you feels hollow and unfulfilling. They start comparing everyone to you, consciously or subconsciously. Why doesn't this person understand me the way they did? Why don't I feel as comfortable or cared for? Why do I miss the little things they used to do? These comparisons grow stronger over time, leaving them frustrated and disillusioned. This stage is about realizing that no one can fill the gap you left. It's not just about missing your presence. It's about missing the unique way you made them feel. You weren't just another person in their life. You were a foundation, someone who gave them emotional stability. Warmth and support. Their attempts to replace you often backfire, leaving them feeling even more alone. Instead of moving on, they're haunted by memories of you. The more they try to distract themselves, the more they're reminded of what they lost. This is when the regret deepens, and they start questioning why they didn't value you when they had the chance for you. This stage is empowering. It's proof that your absence has weight, and that you brought something unique to their life. You don't have to do anything during this phase. Just let them wrestle with the consequences of their choices. Their failed attempts to replace you will only strengthen their realization of your worth, solidifying your decision to walk away. 9. The battle between freedom and regret. When you first disappear, they might feel a brief sense of freedom. At the start, they convince themselves that your absence is a relief. Finally, I don't have to deal with their emotions or demands. I can do whatever I want. It's a fleeting high that feels liberating, at least temporarily. But this feeling is superficial. The freedom they experience is nothing more than an illusion, a thin veil masking the emptiness left behind. They might spend time with friends, pick up new hobbies, or dive into work. Yet when the excitement wears off, regret sneaks in. They start to realize that life without you isn't as fulfilling as they thought. The moments of silence, the empty nights, and the absence of someone who genuinely cared for them become glaringly obvious. The freedom they wanted so badly now feels more like a punishment. This stage is particularly challenging for them because it forces them to confront their inner contradictions. They wanted independence, but now they miss the connection. They crave space, but now they feel lonely. The battle between freedom and regret rages on, leaving them stuck in a cycle of emotional highs and lows. What makes this stage significant is the growing awareness of what they've lost. They realize that the grass isn't greener on the other side, and that the freedom they pursued came at a cost. This is when they begin to appreciate your presence in their life. But it's too late for you. This stage is another reminder of why walking away was necessary. Their regret is a direct result of their actions, and you don't need to intervene. Let them experience the hollowness of their so-called freedom, while you focus on building a life filled with people who truly value you. The urge to pursue you, after the regret sets in, they overcome with an overwhelming urge to win you back. This stage marks the turning point, where their desperation reaches its peak. They realize they've lost someone irreplaceable, and now they're consumed by the need to undo their mistakes. Suddenly you become their sole focus. They might send heartfelt messages or late-night texts like, "I've been thinking about you," or "I miss you." Social media becomes their battlefield. They'll like your old posts, leave comments, or even try to slide into your DMs just to catch your attention. Each move is a calculated effort to reconnect. Their pursuit often escalates. As they realize their efforts are going unanswered, they'll reach out to mutual friends or find excuses to run into you. The more they feel your silence, the more determined they become. They can't bear the thought of you slipping further away. This stage isn't just about regaining control. It's about soothing their ego. They need reassurance that they still matter to you, that they haven't been completely forgotten. However, this is where your power lies. By staying silent and refusing to engage, you send a clear message. You're no longer an option. What makes this phase so impactful is the reversal of roles. Once upon a time, you were the one chasing, trying to fix things or make them see your worth. Now they're in your position, feeling the sting of unreciprocated effort. This shift in dynamics is humbling for them and empowering for you. Resist the temptation to respond. Their pursuit is driven by their need for closure and validation, not necessarily by genuine change. By staying firm, You allow them to fully experience the consequences of their actions. The more they chase without results, the more they'll come to terms with their loss. Let them pursue, but don't give in. This is your time to prioritize your own peace and growth. Their desperation will only deepen as they realize they no longer have access to the version of you they once took for granted. Set in the stage of deep self-reflection. Once their pursuit fails, they're forced to turn inward. This is the stage where they confront the hard truths about themselves and their behavior. Left alone with their thoughts, they begin to question everything. Was I too selfish? Did I push them away? Could I have been better? Self-reflection is an uncomfortable but a necessary process. Without you there to reassure or comfort them, they're left to face the stark reality of their choices. Every moment of neglect, every dismissive comment, and every opportunity they squandered comes rushing back. They might replay old conversations, remembering the times you expressed your feelings or needs, only to have them ignored or minimized. Now in hindsight, they see the effort you put in and the patience you showed. These realizations are painful because they force them to acknowledge their role in losing someone valuable. This stage is about growth, but it's not guaranteed. Some people use self-reflection as a chance to become better, while others fall into a spiral of guilt and self-pity. Either way, this phase is crucial because it cements the understanding that they are responsible for what happened for you. This stage is a reminder of your worth. You gave them chances to grow and opportunities to change, but they didn't take them. Now without you, they're finally starting to see the truth. But it's too late. 6. The overwhelming curiosity. As self-reflection deepens, they're struck by an intense wave of curiosity. Questions flood their mind. Where are they? What are they doing? Who are they with? Are they happier without me? The unknown gnaws at them, and they can't handle the lack of answers. Their thoughts spiral into overdrive. They scour social media hoping for a glimpse into your life. Every platform becomes a hunting ground. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Yet they're met with silence. Your absence online mirrors your absence in their life, and it drives them insane. This is where their imagination takes over. Unable to see what's really happening, their mind fills in the blanks. They picture you thriving, smiling, and possibly with someone new. The idea that you might have moved on is unbearable. It eats at them, turning curiosity into obsession. They may even reach out to mutual friends, fishing for information without outright admitting their desperation. Have you seen them? Are they okay? Are they dating someone? The answers they get or don't get only fuel their unease. Curiosity is a powerful force because it forces them to confront the reality of your independence. You've become a mystery, and mysteries demand resolution. The less they know, the more they crave answers, and the more valuable you become in their eyes. For you, this stage is where silence becomes your most effective tool. By staying off the grid and refusing to engage, you maintain the upper hand. Let them wonder. Let their curiosity grow until it becomes a consuming force. The less they know, the more they'll miss you. 5. The void of missing you. After their curiosity has simmered, they settle into a painful awareness. You're not coming back. This is when they begin to feel the full weight of your absence. The void you left becomes undeniable, and no amount of distractions can fill it. They wake up each day and go about their routines, but something feels off. The warmth, the stability, and the emotional connection you brought to their life are gone. They miss the little things, the conversations, the way you made them feel understood, and even your presence in the background of their lives. They might try to distract themselves by working more, spending time with friends, or diving into hobbies. But these attempts only highlight the emptiness. Everything feels bland compared to the life they had with you in it. The void becomes a constant reminder of what they lost. It's not just about the physical absence. It's the emotional gap they can't seem to bridge. The irony is that they didn't appreciate these things when they had them. Now, without you, they realize just how much they took for granted. For you, this is a testament to your value. The emptiness they feel is proof that you brought something irreplaceable to their life. By staying away, you allow them to sit with this void and understand the depth of their loss. For the sting of rejection, the first and perhaps most shocking stage for them is the sting of rejection. They never expected you to leave, at least not completely. They believed you'd always be there, no matter how poorly they treated you, or how much they took you for granted. Your departure hits them like a ton of bricks. Suddenly they're confronted with the reality that you're not their safety net anymore. The person they thought they had control over, the one who always cared, always reached out, has vanished. This rejection is personal. It forces them to acknowledge that they no longer have access to you, and it stings deeply. People don't like to admit it, but rejection is one of the most painful experiences, especially when it's unexpected. They start questioning themselves. How did I let this happen? Why didn't I see the signs? Was I really so blind? Their ego takes a hit, and the realization that they're no longer a priority in your life is a hard pill to swallow. For you, this stage is empowering. It's the moment you reclaim your worth and show them that you won't settle for being an option. Their sting of rejection is a reflection of their own actions and the consequences they must now face. 3. The struggle to rebuild their image. After the sting of rejection, they enter a stage where they attempt to rebuild their sense of self. Losing you has shaken their confidence, and they feel the need to prove to themselves and others that they're still in control. They might post on social media more frequently, showcasing a perfect life to hide their pain. Trips, parties, or new relationships might appear in their feed, all designed to give the impression that they've moved on. But behind the facade, they're struggling. This stage is about saving face. They want to appear unaffected, even though they're deeply unsettled. Their efforts to rebuild their image are often more about you than themselves. They hope you'll see their posts, notice their growth, and maybe even regret leaving. 2. The attempts to reconnect. Once they've exhausted their coping mechanisms, they make their move. They'll reach out tentatively at first with messages like, "How have you been?" or "I was just thinking about you." These attempts are a way to gauge your response and see if there's still hope. But the more you remain unresponsive, the more desperate their attempts become. They might send longer, more emotional messages confessing regret or asking for closure. These efforts are fueled by their need to re-establish the connection they've lost. The final realization? This is the stage where they accept that you're truly gone. It's a sobering moment when all the denial, anger, and attempts to regain control finally fade. They're left with nothing but the harsh truth. They lost someone they'll never get back. This realization is transformative. It forces them to acknowledge their mistakes and come to terms with the fact that you've moved on. For you, it's the ultimate victory. You've reclaimed your power, your worth, and your independence. Let this be a lesson for them, and a reminder for you to never settle for less than you deserve. Walking away isn't about revenge. It's about recognizing your worth. When you disappear, you reclaim your power and force them to see the truth about their actions. If this resonates with you, let them feel your absence and learn their lesson. You deserve to be valued, not taken for granted. Are you ready to flip the script? Comment below, "I'm taking back my power." Let them deal with the emotional storm while you move forward, stronger and wiser.